Welcome to the Before AGI podcast. We've got a really fascinating deep dive lined up today.
Yeah, this should be fun.
You guys send in some awesome stuff about AI and space exploration. So we've got articles, even a YouTube video, all about it.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, it seems like AI is really changing the game. You know, from robots roaming around on other planets to how we're planning these missions and even analyzing all that data coming from telescopes. So
it's incredible how fast things are changing.
yeah, it really is. One of the things that really jumped out at me was this shift in focus in space exploration. It's not just about, the moon or Mars anymore.
Right.
We're talking about these smaller celestial bodies like asteroids and comets.
Which is really cool because they can tell us so much.
Exactly. And the sources we're looking at, they're not just talking about, planting a flag on these places.
Right.
It's about understanding them, understanding how these smaller bodies can, unlock secrets about how our solar system even formed.
And maybe even find signs of life.
Yeah. Like extraterrestrial life, right? It's like this cosmic treasure hunt.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's talk robots, because who doesn't love robots in space?
Robots are the best.
I know, right? And we've all seen those incredible pictures from the Mars rovers.
Yeah.
But these articles, they highlight how AI is taking these robots to a whole new level.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Think about rovers like Perseverance from NASA and Pragyan, which is from India's space program, ISRO.
That's right.
They're not just remote-controlled toys anymore, right?
No, not at all.
They're using AI to navigate, avoid dangers, and even pick out the most interesting rocks to analyze.
It's amazing. It's almost like having a geologist on Mars,
Right. And one of the articles even mentioned how Perseverance is using AI to actually decide which rocks to sample.
Wow.
Instead of waiting for commands from, all the way back here on Earth.
Yeah.
That's a huge step towards
Yeah, autonomy in space exploration, for sure.
Exactly. And it's not just NASA, right? The European Space Agency.
They're doing some cool things, too.
They've got the ExoMars robot, which has an AI-powered camera that can identify objects on its own.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. So we're seeing this trend of robots becoming way more independent and capable across the board.
Which brings up some challenges, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. One of the sources talked about how tricky it is to even test these robots here on Earth.
Right, because you've got to simulate low-gravity environments.
Right. And walking on another planet, it's not as easy as it looks in the movies. Right.
Not even close.
There was this fascinating part about how hopping robots might actually be better suited for low gravity than rovers with wheels.
Hopping robots, that's an interesting idea.
Imagine robots just bouncing around on the moon or an asteroid.
I'd love to see that.
It would be amazing. And to get these robots hopping, they're using something called reinforcement learning.
Oh, yeah, reinforcement learning. That's where the robot learns by trial and error, right?
Exactly. So it basically figures out the best way to hop and navigate difficult terrain.
So it's like teaching a dog new tricks, but way more complex, obviously.
Way more complex. Yeah. And then all of that, just the robots on the ground.
Right.
But AI is playing a huge role behind the scenes, too, in, mission planning.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the articles explained how AI can actually analyze data from previous missions to create these really detailed models and simulations.
And that helps.
Well, it's like having a crystal ball for space missions.
Wow.
By learning from past successes and failures, AI can help organizations like NASA plan safer and more efficient missions to Mars.
So it's not just guesswork anymore.
Not anymore.
That's amazing.
AI can help figure out, the best launch window, the best trajectory, even the best landing site.
So we're not just sending things into space and hoping for the best.
Exactly. And it goes even further.
Really?
Yeah. The same technology can be used to, design habitats on Mars. So AI can analyze, temperature fluctuations, radiation levels, all sorts of data.
That makes sense.
To design structures that can actually withstand that harsh Martian environment.
It's incredible how versatile AI is.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing. So from picking landing spots to designing Martian houses, AI is kind of a crucial part of it all.
It really is. And it's not just Mars either, right?
Oh, that's right. The sources also talked about how AI is being used to handle this crazy amount of data coming in from space telescopes.
I can imagine. I mean, those telescopes are...
I know. It's mind-boggling.
Constantly observing the universe, gathering tons of data about stars, galaxies, everything.
Yeah, there's no way humans could analyze all of that.
There's no way. So AI steps in to help us find the the needles in the cosmic haystack, you know?
So AI is like our super-powered research assistant sifting through all that data.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
What kind of things is it looking for?
Well, it can identify patterns and anomalies that might indicate something really interesting. Like what?
Like, for example, it can help us find new planets, even those outside our solar system, exoplanets.
Oh, yeah. And there was this really cool story about how NASA teamed up with Google.
I read that one.
And they used AI to analyze data from the Kepler Space Telescope.
Yeah.
And they ended up discovering 2 brand new exoplanets.
That's incredible.
That had been previously missed. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And this kind of AI-powered discovery, it's not just happening at NASA. The European Space Agency, they launched Sat-1, which is a satellite that actually has a special AI chip on board.
Wow, on board.
So instead of sending all that data back to Earth for analysis, it uses that chip to process and filter data in space.
That's a huge leap forward in efficiency.
Right. It's a game changer. So we've got robots exploring, AI planning missions, and now it's helping us analyze all this data.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It seems like AI is involved in almost every aspect of space exploration now, huh?
Absolutely. It's getting more sophisticated all the time.
And one area that's getting a lot of attention is communication in space.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Because it's not like you can just make a quick call to Mars. There are, huge distances.
Massive distances.
Which means delays and potential disruptions.
Oh, absolutely. And even a small delay could be a big deal.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're trying to control a rover or adjust a spacecraft's trajectory.
Right, a tiny delay could have major consequences.
Exactly.
So what are they doing about that?
Well, that's where AI comes in.
Oh, well, nice.
NASA is exploring these AI-powered systems that can adapt to changing conditions.
So they can maintain a stable connection even with all the interference.
Exactly. They can predict potential disruptions.
Oh,
and adjust communication frequencies in real time to avoid interruptions.
So AI is basically like a super smart network administrator, keeping everything running smoothly across all that space.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Amazing. And then some scientists believe that AI could even play a role in deciphering potential messages.
Oh, wow.
From extraterrestrial intelligence.
Alien messages.
I know.
That's pretty out there.
By analyzing signals for patterns and anomalies, AI could help us determine if we're actually alone in the universe.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing.
It really is. So we've got AI controlling robots, planning missions, deciphering potential alien messages.
Yeah.
But it's also changing how we think about spacecraft themselves.
That's right. The sources mentioned AI's potential to design more efficient spacecraft.
Yeah.
Potentially even creating self-driving spacecraft.
Wow.
That can make decisions on their own during these long, deep space missions.
That's incredible.
And then it can also help monitor a spacecraft's health and performance, making sure everything runs smoothly.
It's like AI is becoming the ultimate space explorer's toolkit.
Yeah, it's like giving us this superpower to go farther, explore more, and understand the universe in ways we never even imagined.
I agree. It's a really exciting time.
It is an exciting time.
Yeah.
But with all this talk about, AI's benefits, are there any, drawbacks or concerns we should be aware of?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one we should definitely discuss more.
Yeah, we should.
What are the potential downsides of using AI in space?
Right, because it can't all be perfect, can it?
No, it can't.
So we should definitely dive into that a bit more.
Absolutely.
But first, we should
probably break.
Yeah, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about the potential risks and challenges of AI in space.
Sounds good.
Stay with us.
Yeah, we'll be right back. So, it's true that AI offers this incredible potential for space exploration.
Yeah.
But we can't ignore the potential downsides.
Right.
One of the articles talked about the risks of, AI making errors, especially in those high-stakes scenarios like space exploration, where a single mistake could have huge consequences.
So we're not talking like a rogue AI taking over a spaceship kind of situation, right?
No, not quite. It's more about the fact that AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on.
Okay.
So unexpected situations or glitches in the system, those could lead to errors in, judgment or decision making.
That makes sense. So it's a reminder that AI is still a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used effectively or ineffectively.
Exactly.
You can't just blindly trust it to handle everything.
Right. Human oversight is still crucial, especially when it comes to those really critical decisions.
Okay, so we've got Robots, mission planning, data analysis, communication, even spacecraft design.
Yeah.
Is there any part of space exploration that AI isn't touching these days?
It really is becoming ubiquitous.
Yeah.
One area that I find particularly fascinating is the development of AI assistants for astronauts.
Oh, like a super smart co-pilot.
Exactly. These assistants can,
Oh, go.
monitor the spacecraft, analyze data, even help with tasks, especially during emergencies.
That would be incredibly helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine being an astronaut on like a really long mission
Yeah.
and having a reliable AI assistant there to help you manage all those complex systems and data.
Yeah, it could even help with things like scheduling experiments, monitoring life support systems, and providing real-time information.
So it's like having an extra set of eyes and hands, basically.
Yeah, and a super smart brain.
We talked a lot about NASA and the European Space Agency.
Uh-huh.
But what about other countries? Are they using AI in space too?
Oh, absolutely. One of the articles highlighted India's space program, ISRO.
Oh, cool.
They're using AI in their Chandrayaan-3 mission to the moon, which includes that Pragyan rover we talked about earlier.
Right.
It's using AI to analyze the chemical and mineralogical composition of the lunar soil.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
India seems to be, like, really making a name for itself in space exploration.
They are.
I read about their plans to launch a whole fleet of, like, 50 new AI-powered satellites for surveillance.
Wow, that's ambitious.
It's pretty impressive, right?
It is. And China's another major player.
Oh, of course.
They're focusing on developing these new propulsion systems that are more efficient and powerful, all thanks to AI.
So there's like this global race to use AI in space.
It seems that way.
Which is pretty exciting, honestly.
It is exciting.
What about Japan? I know they have a pretty active space program, too.
You're right. Japan's space agency, JAXA, they recently achieved a historic milestone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Their Epsilon rocket was the first to use AI for autonomous performance monitoring during a launch.
Wow. AI controlling a rocket launch. That's like a huge step towards autonomous spaceflight.
It is, and it shows the growing trust being placed in AI for critical tasks.
That makes sense.
JAXA is also behind the INT ball, which is this really cool, intelligent robot that captures images of experiments on the International Space Station.
So it's like a little flying photographer, freeing up the astronauts to do other stuff.
Exactly. AI can really improve efficiency and productivity in space.
So we've gone from robots bouncing around on asteroids to AI controlling rocket launches.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What do you think is the most significant takeaway from all of this? Like, what's the big picture?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that AI is fundamentally changing how we interact with space. We're moving away from purely human-controlled missions to a future where AI plays an increasingly active, even autonomous role.
So it's like we're entering a new era of space exploration where humans and AI are working together.
Exactly. We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's like AI is opening up a whole new universe of possibilities, literally and figuratively.
I like that.
But with this shift toward greater autonomy, don't we also need to think about the ethical implications?
That's a really important point. As AI systems become more sophisticated and autonomous, we need to make sure they're aligned with human values and that they're operating in a way that's beneficial to humanity.
So it's not just about building smarter AI, it's about building ethical AI.
Exactly. We need to think about things like accountability, transparency, and how to prevent any unintended consequences.
It's a lot to consider, but it's also incredibly exciting.
It is exciting.
With all this talk about AI's capabilities, I can't help but wonder if it could ever become, creative.
Creative AI. Now, that's a fascinating question.
Right. Could AI design a mission on its own? Or even, compose music inspired by the rings of Saturn? It's a really interesting thought.
It really is. I mean, we tend to think of creativity as this uniquely human thing.
Yeah.
But as AI evolves, some experts believe it might be possible for AI to show some forms of creativity.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, it could involve AI coming up with, completely novel solutions to problems we haven't even considered yet.
Right.
Or maybe generating artistic expressions inspired by the vastness of space.
That's mind-boggling. Imagine AI composing a symphony based on data from a black hole.
That would be something else.
It'd be a whole new genre of art, right?
Space-inspired AI music.
Exactly. But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, let's bring this deep dive back down to Earth for a second.
Sounds good.
What stands out to you as the most significant takeaway from all these sources?
For me, it's the sheer scope of AI's impact on space exploration.
Okay.
It's not just about one specific application like robots or telescopes. It's about a fundamental shift in how we approach space.
Okay.
We're moving away from purely human-controlled missions to a future where AI plays an increasingly active and even autonomous role.
It's like AI is becoming an integral part of the fabric of space exploration.
I think that's a great way to put it.
It's involved in everything, from designing spacecraft to analyzing data to potentially even colonizing other planets.
And as AI continues to evolve, its capabilities in space will only expand.
Right, which brings up a good point. Yeah. About the need for, like, continuous learning and adaptation.
Oh, absolutely.
We can't just develop an AI system and then, like, send it off into space without considering how it might change or what new challenges it might encounter.
It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Exactly.
We need to constantly monitor, evaluate, and improve these systems as we gain more experience and knowledge.
So it's like sending a student to a new school. They need, like, guidance and support to learn and adapt to their new environment.
That's a good analogy.
So it's about creating a feedback loop where AI learns from its experiences in space.
Right.
And we, in turn, learn from the data and insights that AI provides.
It's a collaborative learning process that will be key to unlocking AI's full potential in space exploration.
And this collaboration isn't just limited to, like, scientists and engineers, right?
No, not at all.
The public can play a role, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Citizen science projects and open-source data initiatives are allowing people from all over the world to contribute to space exploration.
That's one of the most exciting things about this field.
I agree.
It's not just about government agencies and big companies anymore. It's about democratizing access to space and empowering anyone with a passion for discovery to participate.
This deep dive has definitely expanded my understanding of AI's role in space.
Me too.
It's clear that this technology isn't just a futuristic fantasy anymore. It's happening now.
It is.
And it's transforming how we explore the universe.
I agree.
We've gone from robotic rovers to AI-powered telescopes.
Yeah.
From autonomous navigation to the potential for AI-generated art inspired by space.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible time to be following all these developments.
It truly is. And as AI continues to evolve at such a rapid pace, who knows what the future holds?
That's true. We might see AI-powered interstellar probes venturing beyond our solar system.
That would be amazing.
Or even AI playing a role in terraforming Mars. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
They really are.
It's an exciting thought, but maybe a little bit daunting, too.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool.
That's a good point.
It's up to us to guide its development and application in a way that benefits humanity and, our understanding of the universe.
Well said. The future of space exploration is a story that's still being written.
Yeah.
And AI is undoubtedly going to be a major character in that story.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of AI and space exploration.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It really has, filled with fascinating insights and mind-blowing possibilities.
A huge thank you to all of you for sending in your questions and sources.
Yeah, thank you.
Your curiosity fuels these deep dives.
Absolutely. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the Before AGI podcast for more explorations into the world of AI.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper into the technical side of things, be sure to check out Ian Ochieng AI on YouTube.
That's Ian Ochieng. Ochieng AI, for all you curious minds out there.
You'll find in-depth tutorials, insightful explanations, and plenty of AI goodness to keep you learning and exploring.
Until next time, keep looking up, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop learning. So, could AI design a mission all on its own?
It's a fascinating thought.
Like, what if it could even compose music, but, like, inspired by the rings of Saturn?
Yeah, we often think of creativity as something uniquely human,
Yeah.
But with how fast AI is developing, I mean, some experts think that AI could show some forms of creativity.
Like, what would that look like?
Well, it could be AI coming up with totally new solutions to problems we haven't even thought of.
Okay, yeah.
Or even, like, generating artistic expressions, inspired by space, the vastness of it all.
Oh, wow. Okay, so imagine, like, AI composing a symphony based on data from a black hole.
Now, that would be a whole new genre of art.
It really would.
Space-inspired AI music, wow.
Okay, so before we get too carried away with all the, like, possibilities,
yeah.
let's bring this deep dive back down to Earth for a sec.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as the most significant takeaway from all these sources?
For me, it's the sheer scope of AI's impact on space exploration. It's not just about one specific application like robots or telescopes. It's a fundamental shift
Right.
in how we're approaching space.
Okay.
We're moving away from purely human-controlled missions to, a future where AI plays a more active and autonomous role.
So it's like AI is woven into the very fabric of how we explore space now.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And it's involved in everything from designing spacecraft to analyzing data to maybe even colonizing other planets.
And as AI gets even better, its capabilities in space are only going to increase.
Which makes me think about something.
What's that?
The need for continuous learning and adaptation with these AI systems.
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah, we can't just build an AI and then just launch it off into space without accounting for how it might change.
Right, or what new challenges it might run into.
Exactly.
It's definitely not a set it and forget it type of situation.
Not at all.
We've got to constantly monitor and evaluate and improve these systems as we get more experience and knowledge.
Right, so it's like sending a student to a new school. They need guidance and support to learn and adapt to their new environment.
That's a great analogy.
So it's really about creating this feedback loop, right?
Yeah.
Where AI learns from its experiences in space, and we learn from the data and insights that the AI provides.
It's a collaborative learning process.
Exactly.
That will be key to getting the most out of AI in space exploration.
And that collaboration, it's not just for scientists and engineers. Well,
oh, definitely.
I mean, the public can play a role too.
Absolutely.
Citizen science projects and open source data initiatives are letting people from all over the world contribute to space exploration.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's not just about government agencies and these huge companies anymore.
Right.
It's about making space accessible and empowering people who are passionate about discovery to get involved.
This whole deep dive has really changed how I see AI's role in space.
Me too.
It's clear that this technology isn't just some futuristic fantasy anymore. This is happening now.
Yeah, it's happening now.
And it's completely transforming how we explore the universe.
We've talked about robotic rovers, AI-powered telescopes, autonomous navigation, even the possibility of AI-generated art inspired by space.
It's wild. It's an amazing time to be following all these developments.
It really is. And with AI evolving so quickly, who knows what the future holds?
Right. We might see AI-powered probes going beyond our solar system.
I'd love to see that.
Or even AI helping us terraform Mars. The possibilities really are endless.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, but maybe also a little daunting,
Yeah, you can see that.
But I think it's important to always remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it's up to us to guide its development and make sure it's used to benefit humanity and our understanding of the universe.
Absolutely. The future of space exploration is still being written, and AI is going to be a huge part of that story.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI and space exploration.
It's been a really incredible journey.
It really has. Lots of fascinating insights and some mind-blowing possibilities.
I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who sent in questions and sources.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are the reason we can do these deep dives.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the Before AGI podcast for more explorations into the world of AI.
And if you want to go even deeper, check out Ian Ochieng AI on YouTube.
That's Ian Ochieng. AI. You'll find all sorts of cool stuff there to keep you learning about AI.
Until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring.
And we'll see you on the next deep dive.